Zhao the prince of Nanjing, had an encounter with a stranger while he was on a secret incognito visit. Both of them were simultaneously poisoned, and they had to spend the night with the other person every month on the full moon to stop the poison attack. What happens when the prince of an empire sleeps with another empire's prince? Read How Two Emperors Royally Smitten to find out. How Two Emperors Royally Smitten, or How Two Emperors Fall in Love, is a novel consisting of 100 chapters with 8 extras written by author Bikabi. Her other popular works are Married Rice to Salted Fish and The Whole World is My Crematorium. So, our main character Zhao Mian, the proud and sharp crown prince of Nanjing, while undercover in the country of Dongling, got caught up in the weird matchmaking tradition of the country. This leads to him being poisoned and having to marry and sleep with the stranger he was matched with to neutralize the poison. How did they know they were matched? Well, the concerning red line that appeared on their wrist overnight was a clear indication of it. However, both of them didn't know the identity of the other party. The male lead, Wei Zhenfeng, who was also here for undercover work, was in disguise as a fishmonger, while main character did not disclose his identity, as it would be hard to explain why a foreign prince was snooping around another country without notice. They both had to temporarily work together for a period of time to find the antidote for the poison, while also deducing each other's real identity. The mind games between Zhao Mian and Wei Zhenfeng in the beginning chapters were exciting to read, Wei Zhenfeng having a seamless alibi for his fake identity, and Zhao Mian who knows something is wrong but doesn't have any evidence to prove it. Even when they have revealed their identities and temporarily resolved the issue, they had another conflict of interest which involved the real reason why both princes came to this country. Relationship-wise, both of them were people who put the overall situation first, and they wouldn't be easily swayed by love matters. Although Wei Zhenfeng is more weak to beauty and was easily tempted after spending the night together, they both still prioritized the well-being of their nations over this shallow relationship they have going on. They were the only people who could calmly discuss important national affairs in bed after literally fucking. A funny point is that midway through the novel, when they realized it was going to be the last time they had to do it together, they got nervous and panicked as if they hadn't done it multiple times before with ease. They started showing some semblance of how 18-year-olds should act towards the situation. This was also the point where they had to admit their feelings for each other, since they had no excuse to sleep with the other party after that point. A relationship problem they faced later on was the distance between the two countries. With one being in the north and one being in the south, seeing each other became an issue since they both had their own duties to fulfill and didn't have time to visit each other. Wei Zhenfeng did consider giving up the throne to be with Zhao Mian, but Zhao Mian disagreed with the idea since he could see that Wei Zhenfeng was just as ambitious for power as he was, and they would both make great leaders. A little extra point, but I really liked Zhao Mian's parents and how they were present in Zhao Mian's life, even though they were busy being the emperor and prime minister of the country. They were there for him, and it's clear that their teachings have an impact on Zhao Mian's actions in the story. Anyway, all that is just some of the plot that occurs in the first half of the story. The second half is more on how they're dealing with their relationship and their succession to the throne. Also where Zhao Mian gets pregnant. That's right, there's Mpreg. Didn't see that coming, did ya? A problem that some readers brought up is the slight colorism in the novel. While Wei Zhenfeng is in disguise in the starting chapters, Zhao Mian does make a few comments on his darker/tan skin and how ugly he was. Let me give some further context to help. Zhao Mian's country, Nanjing, is known as a country that produces beauties, and even the servants and common folks are incredibly good-looking. Wei Zhenfeng's disguise face was actually normal-looking, but because of Zhao Mian's high standards, he was labeled ugly. If you read further into the novel, Zhao Mian does meet a few dark-skinned individuals that he recognized as attractive, and even suggested they form a girl group. I would say that Zhao Mian's distaste for darker-skinned individuals only applies towards Wei Zhenfeng, since at that time, he was drugged and was forced to have an entanglement with an ugly man who was 32 years in age. Zhao Mian is 18. That's a 14-year age gap. Excuse me? Some of Zhao Mian's behavior can be seen as someone who tries to find faults in people they hate. Regardless, his behavior is still wrong, and the novel would have been better if it wasn't included. If anyone is having second thoughts on reading, I would still say to give this novel a chance, since the matter is not mentioned too much, and the novel still has some good qualities for you to focus on.